Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. In this video today we're going to be adding some cute little Hillstream Loaches into the 6-foot peninsula river tank that I've got here. We're going to grab them from Atlas Aquariums. In this video I'm going to tell you a bit about them, what my experience has been like with them, and give you a 1-week update of how they fared in my river tank as well. I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like and let me know what you think in the comments down below. So you might have seen these Hillstream Loaches a few times when I've come here in this beautiful river tank that I've got here behind me. So I've done a couple of videos on this tank because it is just absolutely incredible, and it's full of Hillstream Loaches that Finn has been breeding in there, and so now they're just kind of all throughout the tanks in the store. I always enjoy coming in and seeing what they've got. I was having a look at these Cyanobacteria catfish, these golden upside down ones, and I was thinking of getting some for the Lake Malawi tank, but then after I did a bit of research I realised they grow a bit bigger than what I want, and they're not actually endemic to Lake Malawi either, so I'm not going to grab those, but I might eventually get another type of catfish that are endemic to Lake Malawi at some point to add into that tank, but we'll see. And I was checking out too, just to the side here, they've got these really nice vivariums, I think they're called, and it's a full setup that you can get for $400, not including the light, but it's got a really nice mister and everything, so I would love to set up a little mini kind of shallow tank like that at some point. So I have my eyes on those, and then I was also looking at this really cool kind of L-shaped multi-platform reef tank that they've got. I guess you wouldn't have to put reef stuff in it, but I would consider getting something like that just to have in my living area, maybe on the kitchen bench or something, since it's just nice and small and compact. So lots of really cool things here to check out, but we've bagged up the Hillstream Loaches, so I've got them, they're all ready to go, and take them home and add them to the river tank. So let's do that. Alright, so we're now back home and we've got our little Hillstream Loaches in here. They've been sitting in here for a little while now, just acclimating to the temperature. It is summer here still, so the temperature is probably still the same as room temperature, but I thought I'll pop them in there. I'm not going to bother quarantining these guys because I know where they're coming from, and they've been in Atlas for a very long time, and I think they might have even been bred there. So I know that they're nice and healthy, because with my quarantine I never medicate the fish unless I see them get sick. I normally just let them sit there for a few weeks and just monitor them and make sure they're okay, because I don't like to over medicate fish. So knowing that these guys have been with Finn for so long, they haven't just been imported or anything, I'm sure they will be just fine. And hopefully we've got a little pair here, so a male and a female that we can pop in. I'll give you a little bit of a closer up. There is our little Hillstream Loach. I'm not sure how clear that is, but we'll pop them in and we'll see how they go in there, all ready to go in. And so this tank has not been touched actually for a couple of weeks now, because I've been trying to get rid of the Cyanobacteria outbreak that I had. And the two main things is I added in the medication for the Cyanobacteria, which took me about 2 bottles, so that was expensive doing that. And then I also dimmed down my lights quite a lot, which I'm preferring now too, because it was a little bit bright in my eyes when I was sitting on the couch next to here. And dimming the lights and using the medication and letting the tank sit for just over 2 weeks, with that has fixed the problem. So we've got no more Cyanobacteria, which is good. It's looking much, much better in here. And there's our little spiny eel. It's come out. I think that the spiny eel is preferring it now too. With the dimmer lights, it seems to be a lot less shy. It's coming out a lot more frequently. All right, little Hillstream Loaches. I'm just gonna pop them in with the water. I don't normally do this, but because otherwise I think they might stick to the plastic. Good, there we go, there goes one. He's shot off. I'm trying to get the other one to come out. There we go, good work. All right, they've separated. So hopefully they'll find each other. Oh, there's one. All right. Wow, it's just like being at the river tank at Atlas. So we've got one on the rock there, and then the other one, I think it shot off somewhere over here. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It is about 9:30 at night here on a Saturday. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna let them chill out, settle in and everything. I do have to clean this tank finally now that the medication treatment is all complete. So I might do a water change either tonight or this morning, in the morning, and then we can see how they're going tomorrow. The next day I easily found them. I was actually surprised by how active and out and about they both were. They seemed to have a preference for the round boulders, and I think I saw them eating some of the leftover Cyanobacteria as well, which was handy, and they also liked to stick to the glass. I did see them notice each other a few times as well and chase each other around. I should have a male and a female. As far as telling the difference between the two of them, they are dimorphic, so you can see physical sex differences between them. These guys are more specifically called Reticulated Hillstream Loaches, and the females are a little bit smaller, and they also have a rounder head, whereas the male, as you can see in this picture here, its head is more obvious. It doesn't run into its pectoral fins like the females ones do. I believe that these guys can be a little bit territorial, but they do well in schools, so I might potentially look into getting some more of them, but they seem to be getting along pretty well. The one thing you have to be careful about is making sure that they've actually got some biofilm or algae on the gravel or on the rocks to be able to eat. They don't require plants because they're from fast flowing streams that are highly oxygenated, so that's another thing to consider too. I do have some air bubbles in my sump, and I've also made sure that my filter outlet is facing towards the top of the water, so there's always surface agitation to oxygenate the water. They can be a little bit skittish if you walk towards them. Sometimes they will swim away, but I found that they tended to get used to me over time. It's been about a week now, well actually exactly a week since I added the Hillstream Loaches into this river tank here. They are doing really well. They are always out, so I can normally see them. They're quite active fish. They'll often be on the glass, or you'll see them on some of the round stones, eating and grazing on the algae all day. Got some L number plecos in there, and they are just hiding always throughout the day. They never come out, I never see them. They're always under the wood or in the caves. So it's a nice change being able to actually see these fish. This tank here is just a neutral pH, so pH of about 7.5 to 7.8. I just do a water change once every week at the moment, about 50% of the water, but I will probably be able to cut that down to more once a fortnight eventually. The good thing about these fish as well is they don't need a lot of plants. All they need is algae. And so it's been a week since I last did a water change, and I haven't touched the glass at all, and this is how the algae is in the tank at the moment. I do think there has been a decrease of algae since adding them in, and the only issue may be that I might need to actually put my lights up a little bit more, because when I had the Cyanobacteria outbreak, I dimmed them down quite a bit, but Hillstream Loaches always need to have algae to graze on, or biofilm that sits on the rocks and on the gravel. And I do think that even though there's some algae left, they're getting through it pretty well. And I believe they may have been eating some of the moss or algae that's been growing on the log as well, because it looks like there's a little bit less of that now. But again, I did turn the lights down, so that could be contributing to less algae in the tank. But either way, this amount of lighting, which isn't that dim, and after 1 week of no scrubbing the glass or anything, like, this tank is looking really nice and clear, and I do think they're doing quite a good job at eating the algae, because I'll always see them on the glass eating the algae off there, and on the rocks as well. And this is only 2 of them in this big tank too. I guess they're probably not quite as flexible, let's say, as a pleco. Like, I've got bristlenose plecos in this African cichlid tank, but I wouldn't put Hillstream Loaches in this tank. They're more of the type of fish that you want to keep them with a neutral pH and make sure that the nitrates aren't getting too high. So I guess they're a little bit more sensitive, but they're definitely more active than bristlenose plecos. At this point of the video, my mic actually died, so I'm just going to voice over the last part. I'd pretty much said everything I wanted to say. I would love to know what you think of those setups that I showed you at the beginning. Let me know if you would like to see either of those things being set up, because I am looking to add something to my collection that is a little bit smaller. And I'm also going to do a comparison between my sump and my canister filter, and a bit of an update on the sump on the Waterbox Peninsula tank too, because I know that a few people have wanted to see that. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're enjoying my content and you want to see more in the future, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. It's really motivating when you guys do that, so I really appreciate it. And you can turn on the little bell notification too to get notified each time I upload a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!